Basically a response video to that Mathfails guy, but I'll start with a little add-on to the what the fuck, just a comment about fake Sagan. I was a little unfair. I did see you did come back. Apparently they left the blog TV and then he came back again later. And, he put in a lot of hours. He was really coherent, for a guy on a psychological trip. I'd better not be, that's for sure. Yeah, well, whatever, it seems, whatever, personable, human. Fake Sagan's not the kind of guy I'm ever going to like hanging out with. Ocean was cute. She was she was a little trippier. But anyway, I didn't mean to misrepresent the truth. He put in his time, and I don't know what to say. It wasn't brilliant, but it was human enough. So, never mind. Apologies, if necessary, extended. Yeah, that's enough of that. All right, so anyway, Mathfails guy. We had this whole conversation in Stickham, and so yeah, you made a video and you didn't really say much. I mean, holistic spirituality, that doesn't mean much to me. The whole word holistic is a little bit tricky. It presumes I'm supposed to have some sort of reverence with being in tune with nature or something, and nature's, as I've tried to point out, is stupid and fucked up. Why the hell would I want to be in simpatico with it? Why would I be of best buddies with nature? Screw that. I'm anti-holistic in a way. Obviously I'm a natural beast, so I find some comforts in nature, but I'm not deluded into thinking that's all humanity means, and that's all that intelligence is some sort of thing to revere nature with. Like I should acquire intelligence so I can be obedient to stupid, crude forces. That doesn't make much sense. So another term you used was something like psychophysical evolution or something. Again, what is that? Yeah, we're evolving. Okay, we're learning. Our psychology, though, come on, our psychology isn't really evolving. I mean, I don't think the psychology of the average human has changed much in the last few thousand years. We know what we basically want, what we desire. We're chasing. Alcohol's been around a long time. We're looking for escapes from reality often. So I just don't know what to do with your video. I'm just going to argue what I'm arguing is that there's these things to be judged. We've acquired this awareness thing. We're here. We're conscious. We're, capable of making judgments, scrutinizing things. And you look back at our creation and you say, what the hell was that? What happened? How did it happen? And so you figure out the physics of it and the chemistry of it, and you say, okay, I can accept that. And you fill in the little blanks where you need to, but you get the basic idea. And but what's the presumption going to be? I mean, you're going to just presume that the universe knows what it's doing? I mean, there's no evidence that it knows what it's doing. There's every evidence that almost anything could happen, so to speak. I mean, we're caught in this weird quandary because obviously there's this cause and effect thing, and how far back can you take the cause and effect thing? And let's say, time and cause and effect is all broken at the instant of the Big Bang or something, and so there is this moment of spontaneity, and then that's it. Then it just plays out for the next, whatever, trillion years, and then it all collapses again and starts the whole thing all over again or something. Who knows? It's all guesswork. But it does seem likely that there's something, that goes on, that the nothing isn't just nothing forever. But it's impossible to contemplate. But I'm just saying, if you go with the basic truth, the one obvious truth, is that there's nothing intelligent innately in it, all right? It has no empathy. I mean, that's sort of like the key word. I mean, you would think empathy would be one of the first things that arises in intelligence. So if there was an intelligence creator, I mean, it was my first skepticism of the God delusion, was the fact that I'm saying, well, what kind of fucktarded God would do that? And why would a fucktarded God do that? And why would he even allow that? Why would he even consider that? Why would that even be possible? I mean, you know, it's cruel, and anything that can't appreciate that, it's very hard to have, how that, you know, how can you see intelligence in that? The universe has, there's just nothing there. There's nothing indicating any intelligence. It's just the limits of the boundaries of physics, you know, chemistry, the dynamic of the interaction of particulates of energy, and they can turn into any kind of perverse and horrible manifestation. And the likelihood, as I've tried to explain, is that it's going to build something broken, not something brilliant. You don't accidentally write Shakespeare. You know, you accidentally write shit. You know, you don't accidentally paint a great painting. No, you paint mud, you paint dirt, you paint garbage. Chaos doesn't work as a creator. You know, I just don't know where you get this, where am I supposed to, where do I find this presumption that everything's going to be okay? I don't see it. And so then we're back to also the half glass, half full, half empty thing, the scales, which, you know, other people, anti-bullshit man guy kind of referenced a little too. That's probably the issue, the thing to be talked about forever and ever, is to really figure out this scale thing. I mean, how much pain is worth what gain? I mean, how do we measure whether we're accomplishing something, whether we bought something that was a good price? And I guess that's a key thing, to think of it in terms of like you're going to a store and you're going to buy something, and you're going to say, yes, that's an acceptable price. And that's sort of a, you know, we're letting it be a subject of determination, but I'm saying I think there's enough, if we really glean the evidence and the truth, if we pick at it, there's probably a lot that we can at least say what's reasonable and what's unreasonable in terms of what you put on those scales, and you know, how you make that evaluation. And so that's where I'm just trying to make the argument that this is a really important question. And until we resolve that question, until we know how those scales really balance, we've got no business investing in this thing. People have no business, you know, imposing life on another generation if they really have no excuse for being confident. They really have no excuse for it. Confident enough to take that step to impose the imposition, and that's the part I'm just trying to get people to. That's the point I'm trying to get them to, is to do the pause thing and say, wait, let's figure this out first before we commit to buying it. And it's like people are signing contracts that other people are going to have to live. Maybe that's a good analogy. It's like this generation signs a contract and says, okay, and somebody else has got to pay the contract, though. I mean, they're contracting somebody else's destiny. And to me, that's really arrogant and bold, considering what we know. You know, what we know for sure, what we can know with any confidence. So I'm not convinced it's an open question just because I have my rational brain is pretty certain that the scales don't balance, that this is a zero-sum game, that the best we could ever do is to try to create some kind of perfect environment for consciousness, protect it, emphasize the best parts of it, and eliminate the negative parts, the vulnerabilities. But it's done sloppy, I'm damn sure it's not. It's unethical. Okay, it's indecent. It's obscene. It's a negative. It's just a horrible, grotesque, stupid negative. And if human intelligence can't realize that, I mean, if it can't acquire enough empathy, I mean, I expect God to have empathy, and for certain, a creator should have empathy, and we're being a creator. We're creating another generation, a future for humankind, And if we don't have empathy, I mean, I'm going to have the same, you know, contempt for us, for humanity. I mean, part of me wishes humanity just curses it to exist, to get what it deserves, to get what it has imposed on itself. But the catch is not all human beings are stupid enough to be the arrogant bastards, and they'll be victims of the arrogant bastards. And so that's the only catch, is people like me will be injected into this game that these assholes are playing. And that's the part that's, you know, makes it matter, because it's really easy to not give a shit about people that can't manifest empathy. I mean, if you can't do that minimum, then yeah, I say you deserve exactly what you get. So anyway, out of time.